Okay, all right, we will reconvene the budget work session. And welcome back, Albert. Welcome back, Albert. You're unmuted. All right. I thought what we could do is we have Kelly coming in at 1:30 just to advocate for a couple of lines that were cut. I think there's 3 lines that I had cut back on, and she wanted to make a case for those. And then Justice Court was coming in to explain about their request for travel and training. And then Benjamin will be joining us at 1:30. So I thought maybe just to start off, Shelby has a list of open lines where we have not made decisions on. So I thought we would let Shelby cover that. See if we can make some decisions. And then after seniors and Justice Court, then I was going to open up to the board to see how you want to approach the board's, the rest of the review, because that will have been it for department heads and committee chairs coming in.
Okay.
So, Shelby?
Okay, so the first note I had was in Justice Court, actually, under their travel line, but we can ask them that when they're in. We wanted to know like which conferences they were going to.
Yes.
The next one,
Just a pause there while you're in Justice. So we had gotten.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Now.
can. Yes. Yes, can you hear us?
I'm not hearing anybody.
Oh. Can you hear us?
Julie Lane, can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. That must be
Okay.
Albert
I can
computer.
hear you. Okay, so
all
then
right.
it's something with Albert's computer.
Yeah, Albert, maybe you need to turn the volume up?
Can't hear him. He can't hear us. Let's try text him.
Okay, that's why he didn't answer before.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna just try calling him.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Really better. Yeah, I don't want to get started until.
Hey, Amber.
Okay, we can hear you, and Julie Lane can hear us. So check your settings to see whether or not you just need to turn the volume up.
Yeah, but no, the volume, okay, I'll check you, the volume's up. I believe, let me see, yeah, it's up. The audio's on, the video's on.
Can you hear us now?
Oh, okay, now I got you. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks. Bye-bye.
okay, good. All right, are we still getting feedback, or was that from the phone?
I think that's from the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, good. All right, just to recap what you missed then, Albert, is we have Kelly coming in to advocate for a few lines that were cut in the seniors lines, and then Justice Court is coming in to explain travel and training, their request. And before then, I'm going to have Shelby just go through some of the open items that's on our list. And then after, and Benjamin should be joining us at 1:30. And then we'll talk about the approach that the board wants to take with the rest of the review, because then we will have all department heads and all committee chairs who will have been in and talked to us. So we were on page 5 with Justice Court. And I was just starting to say that the open item that Shelby noted was the travel. And then we also had gotten the opinion of Labor Council that we cannot, I had talked about for the Justice Court clerk, her salary was set at $65,000, and I was prorating it because that's what we have historically done. But we have since learned that that practice that we were doing, we should not be doing, giving any interim raises. So when someone is hired, we have to wait until they've been with us for a year. So that line that we had put in for $65,550 will remain at 65,000.
Okay, all right.
So I just wanted to explain that.
So there's a couple places. we'll have
Yes,
to
I was going to say,
fix.
yeah, that will need to be
Okay.
fixed. Okay, all right, so Shelby?
Yes, the next one I have is in assessors, which is page 7. However, I just have it highlighted. I don't have it a note attached, and it's for the school travel and mileage. So I'm thinking it has something to do with new hire, if this question was if we needed to put more in for,
Oh,
New
right,
hire.
and Judith had been out,
yeah.
so she wasn't able to answer that question. All right, so maybe,
Yeah, I have Jane Judith's question.
Right, well.
yeah, I have
part
an
of the-
asterisk next to it.
Yeah, because I think part of the question was if we hire a new assessment aide, what training are they gonna need?
Mm-hmm.
And then what training will Laurel need moving into her new position? I know she's done a lot of it, but is there more that she needs? And then, where can they get it? I don't,
Mm-hmm.
like, Association of Towns doesn't really help them, so.
Right, yes. Yeah, and going back up to, like, the line that says assessment aide, since Laurel has been promoted to the part-time, or to the full-time assessor, that line, so the 52,800 will become 51,500, because that's what we're advertising the current position at.
Mhm.
So we do get a little bit of savings there. And then to go along with my earlier comment, the 65,000 will stay at 65,000, not the 65,400.
Mhm.
And I also had an open question on vehicle maintenance, whether or not we we're going to need to replace tires.
I had that question too. I thought that was a question we we're gonna ask Ken.
Mm-hmm. Right, we just-
Because that vehicle maintenance question also goes across the zoning and the building budgets too,
Yes.
which is A fund and B fund, so that complicates it,
Mhm.
unless it's just Ken's purview.
Do we want to? I guess we'll have to just revisit these. Maybe we can get answers by tomorrow, except, I know Ken is away, but we can push it to Dave.
How does it work for the rest of the fleet? So like Joe's car, or, like the PD's traffic.
PD doesn't have a vehicle maintenance line.
Right.
Seniors have a vehicle maintenance line. Everybody else, I think, just ends up in,
In the fleet.
So
Public
all the
Works.
vehicles, the all electric vehicles, that's under the building department?
building department with a little shared with the assessors.
Shared, okay, and there are 3.
Yes. Mhm.
So, and that's what this line item is here.
Yes, and we have historically, I think, whatever maintenance has been done has just been eaten by Public Works, because we haven't had, I don't think, anything
Right.
ever charged to that line, at least
So like.
not since we got the electric cars.
Right, I mean, we did install a new outlet to plug them in, so did that come out of grounds and maintenance and not the building department? Because then I would think that the fleet of cars should also go with.
Just looking down to see. I think it came out of, I think, buildings and grounds. Because we've now 2023, 0, 2024, 0, 0 so
Right.
far this year.
Yeah, we haven't used that one.
Mhm.
Maybe give them like an electric vehicle line in highway. Or just add
Um,
$3,000 to that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can either put it
Yeah.
here for a set of tires. For my tires, when I just replaced all four earlier this year. 1,000.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, $3,000, because you, 3 cars.
I don't know if we need to replace all of them. I mean, 2 came in 1 year, and 1 came in a prior year. So I think only 1 would be needed this year, because it's, one of them is the oldest fleet, and then next year, we'd have to replace 2. So do we want to just put the $1,000 back in for tires?
Yeah. It looks like, yeah, it's like $800 for tires for those cars. I just looked it up,
Okay.
but then it's the time to install them.
Yeah, but that would be under the mechanics hours.
Yeah. So it's about $200 a tire,
Okay. All right.
according to Google.
So we'll put 800 in for vehicle maintenance. Actually,
Well, do you want
no,
to
this
do
is assessor, so I'd say we put 200 in here and 600 under.
300 under building and 300 under zoning?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
200 here.
Mhm.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm just gonna go make that notation now, so when we get to that page.
Me too.
I think on the school travel and mileage.
Mhm.
The 3878, we were training up Laurel. So because we've just promoted her, we won't need to be training up the full-time assessor. So it will be the assessment aide. And she also did an expedited getting all of her training in 1 year, whereas they have, if my recollection is correct, from when BJ was there last, she had 1.5 years. So I feel like we could leave the school travel and mileage at 2,800. And I think on that, we did not get anyone off of civil service for the assessment aid. So that closed, and now we're opening it up to the general public, just as an update on that. Well, I feel like we can close those,
Yeah.
and we're talking small numbers here.
Mhm.
Okay, so
All right, so next was social worker, which was page 17. Some of these I think maybe were when Amber was away, that one budget meeting, and so we still kind of had some outstanding questions.
Oh.
So Health and Wellness Committee proposed 45 for the social worker. So I just have highlighted what your figure was.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you were here when Meg, the
No,
pitch from them.
maybe I was. I have 45,000. I might have been here. I just said hold.
'Cause we did bump health and wellness, medicals, and miscellaneous.
Right.
But then I still have outstanding for the social worker.
I know there's an ask, I just don't want, we've put in there her 8 hours per week plus what we think the opioid grant will cover. How does everybody else feel?
I think the thought was, so in looking at this, the budget last year for the social worker was 44,220. This year you have it at 30,994. And is that because opioid is not reimbursing as much?
Correct. So that 44,000 included 8 hours a week of opioid reimbursement, and what we've actually been able to get reimbursed has not been there. So that's how I got to the almost 31,000.
So I
And
think,
so we're reallocating some of the opioid money, like I properly allocated it to the overtime and police,
Mhm.
and then also for some programs down below.
right,
So we didn't have anything in last year's budget for training and speakers. We now have 11,646 for training and speakers, and then also some of the travel meetings and ferriage.
right, but that's opioid specific.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sorry, what came out of the opioid towards her salary?
last year it would have been 22,000.
22,000 was contributed to,
So 22,000 is her baseline, and 22,000 was opioid.
so the concern was that we didn't want her hours getting cut because she didn't have some opioid grant money to cover her hours. And so they wanted to try to keep it at the same budget level as last year so that her hours don't reduce and she can keep doing the same amount of hours.
For hours for 2025, I did have a conversation with her and said, because we're not getting covered by the opioid grant, your hours are truly 8 hours regular and then whatever opioid is. So she has cut back her hours this year. Like in 2024, we were over budget because we couldn't get the reimbursement back. And so as we were in early 2025, working with Suffolk County to understand what exactly was reimbursable,
Right.
that's when in 2025, I had to like have a chat about how her hours were. So the community's already been experiencing,
she's on a time card, is that what this?
yeah, she's part
And what is that time card? How many hours and what's the rate? Do you have that? I know we probably have it someplace. So that's really where you came out with that. Through September 1st, it was 26,000. So
a second.
she works 8 hours. The program was 8 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, right?
Yeah, her rate is, I want to say it's $55 an hour. Or is it 60? And I don't have quite the right hours.
There's also concern that that's low for this
Yes,
position.
Yes.
You know, it's a very low hourly rate and low number of hours.
Yeah.
So part of the concern is that we'd have a hard time finding someone to replace her too at that rate, at those hours.
So did I answer your question, Gordon?
I'm sort of, I guess, so that 8, so last year, so
I've got it. I'm sorry, I do have it in details. So it's $54.48 per hour times 8 hours a week for her base, and then figuring that $8,331 would cover, that would come from the grant.
So she worked more than the 8 hours last year or this year?
In 2024, she did. She worked 16 hours a week. Some of it was opioids, some of it was reimbursed. This year, when we discovered that we were not going to get the same reimbursement, that's when I talked to her and said, you're
Went back to 8.
budgeted for 8 plus opioid work.
And the opioid, we don't exactly know, or, because what that amount is from them?
I've budgeted $8,331.
Is that going to be applied against the 8 hours, or is that additional time?
That's additional time. So when
She has to keep track of her
yes,
when she's doing opioid-related work. And then whatever that amounts to what we can claim.
So,
so that would
You
count.
can't just like straight submit 8 hours a week if
Right.
it's not,
We tried that.
yeah.
We got shot down. So this past weekend, she did the wellness retreat, working with Thrive. So she was there all day on Saturday. That was all directly attributable to the opioid grant. So she's able to put in that full day plus all of the prep time that she put in to make that program happen. And that was all on top of her 8 hours a week. So $8,331 equates to 153 hours in a year. So if we divide that by 52, it's like 2 to 3 hours a week. That's opioid related.
right. Yeah, I think the concern was the cut from 16 to 8, and then, the need hasn't decreased. So we're using her half the time, but there's still the same amount of need. So there was just an ask to put her back to the 16 hours a week, or close to it if we can.
I'm for holding the line. And next year we could revisit it.
Holding line in terms of the 8,000 and what we normally have. Yeah,
In 8 hours.
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Albert, do you have? And
No, I'm following.
right, but did you have an opinion on this? Should we keep her hours at 8 or increase her hours to what they were in 24 or something in between?
So the opioid grant will cover her additional hours?
No,
Not the full 16 hours a week that the health and wellness is requesting.
So out of the $100,000 grant for opioids, only 8 is applied towards, used towards the social worker. The other 92 go to the police department.
Nope. There's 1,000 that goes for travel meetings and ferriage, and 11,646 that goes to training speakers and others. It's in the next section on page 17.
and then the remainder goes to the police department.
Okay? And that is training for police or training for her? Who's it, or is this a training that she's
It's
giving?
like the events.
Public,
So,
public
like,
event, got it,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so last year they had speaker series,
So-
this year it's like the vigil,
So basically, it's
wellness
about
retreat.
20,000 that goes towards the social worker and the events that she does. The other 80 goes to the police department.
Yes, 79,000. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. And that police department is to take a police officer for a month to 5 weeks, and they go to the East End Drug Task Force. And so they are there for the entire month. So what it actually covers is backfilling their time here. And it pays for, because that kicks other police officers into overtime, we actually are able to reimburse the overtime plus health insurance plus retirement.
Right. So out of that 80,000, but they do other things. They did the school event. Is that this part right here?
That's
The
just
school?
11,000.
That's the 11,000.
Yeah.
So the other is, it's not something that's actively or proactive for opioids. Am I reading that correctly? I mean, they do training. They get The police get training, is that what
It
you're
all
talking?
has to be opioid related,
Right.
and this training speakers and other is not necessarily training the police department, it's teaching the public. It's doing
Right.
trainings with the public on how to talk to your kids about drugs. It's
Yeah,
all of that.
you attended some of those
Yeah.
events.
Yeah, I've been to this, what, all I'm saying is that it's only 20,000 that you have, 8 plus 22 is 30,000, okay, so it's 30,000, that's what she's getting, okay, but.
It's 20.
20, okay, so it's 20,000 altogether. So the other 80 goes into the police,
East End Drug Task Force.
East End.
Yeah.
Right.
And they have had some very successful work on prosecuting, arresting and prosecuting some big drug deals.
Okay,
And some of them that were related to the East End, which impacted residents on Shelter Island as well as.
can more money be used from that program of the opioids into the social worker? No, we've tried that already. And they're saying it's only limited to.
Correct. Yeah. Originally, the budget was 70,000 and 30,000, but the social worker was having a hard time getting to work that this county would buy off on. I was mistaken, I thought you were zooming in.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
So where did Albert come out?
He didn't say.
Oh, okay. We are discussing. Me to make an entrance. Maybe what we'll do, because we've got Kelly here, and I don't want to keep her sitting here for too long, maybe we'll flip over to Kelly and then at the justices, and then we'll come back to the social worker, so we can bring you up to speed, Benjamin.
Okay, thank you.
So you can come up to the table, Kelly.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. I was gonna say, yeah, you had, I think we're up to 3 lines that you wanted to advocate for.
Yeah, so there's 3 lines. The first,
Are they in nutrition, silver circle, or senior center?
one's nutrition. Do you want to go to that one first?
Is that page
Okay.
20? Yeah,
One I need.
page 20.
Okay.
What page are
So-
we on?
20.
So we just received the date that the church is going to start their renovation. So January 5th, we have to be out. So it might even be like a couple of weeks before, like 2 weeks before, we have to set up somewhere else. So we need to bump the rent up for next year, 48,000.
And what I had done is, Kelly had originally put in 48,000, which would have been 12 months of rent over at the church. And I had knocked it down thinking there's going to be 2 months where we have reduced rent. So that's how I got from 48,000 to 45,100. But then as Kelly and Emily and I were discussing, we need to find an alternate location. And there will probably be costs associated with that, whether or not there's a small amount of rent that we pay to some other organization, place that we're going to be working with, and even maybe just a little bit of additional costs because we have to get ourselves set up in a new location. And so there may be small equipment purchases, things like that, that have to be done. So.
How many months?
That we're going to be out, or
Yeah.
they're saying 3.
3, okay.
We're hoping for 2.5,
I
but
think it's 2.5, but if we,
I would guess
if, like, yeah. Neat.
and then hopefully it stays on
When will that start?
January 5th. We have to be completely out. They're going to start that day. And it's right by the holidays, so it's like, it couldn't be like the worst time to set up. So we were hoping to set up by December 15th.
And where are you moving to?
We don't know yet, because we needed a date.
What are the
We needed-
options? What are the options?
Right now, we're looking at the firehouse.
Okay, that's right.
I think Jamie Cogan's place.
Okay.
Maybe
I
can't.
think Quinnipiac is out. I don't
Okay.
think they're in. We were hoping for them.
Yeah.
And I think the Legion's starting renovation as well, so.
Mhm.
There's not great access down to the Legion, so.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it is nice having the community center, and then they let us work there for a couple of weeks, and they were like wonderful. But the stairs are dangerous, so.
Yeah. But they could be upstairs.
I'm sorry, what was the projected duration of the additional space that we need?
3 months,
3 months? Okay.
and so you wanted to bring that number back up to 48,000, or?
Or if we were gonna go, yeah, I mean, if we were gonna be in their space, the number actually should have been 49,200 based upon the lease with a projected CPI increase of 2.5%.
So why don't we keep it at 49,200?
Yeah.
And then
That's what I'm thinking.
that covers the extra and it's consistent.
Mhm. Does anybody have a problem with that?
Because if that is the cost of our lease for the year minus the construction
Mhm.
time, then.
Yeah.
It gives the necessary buffer to move everybody to a different location. And then people won't be surprised when it's high next year.
What do you think it's gonna, are there additional costs to move to a different location now?
It could be
We don't know.
unforeseeable, we don't know, and we don't know how much any place is gonna charge us. We put in what we think they would. So it's
So-
really kind of what we'd be paying anyway, regardless, it's
Right.
exactly what we'd be paying.
Just for a new location.
Right.
The inconvenience of having to move all your gear there in order to stage and set up and run the nutrition program.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there could, you might need equipment that you don't need right now, depending on where you can go.
And we have looked at the senior center itself, because there is a kitchen down there, but to try and run that program out of there, it's space-wise, even though it is a commercial kitchen, it's very confined, as well as the other programs that they have going on down there.
Yeah, it would, all the other programs, we wouldn't even do
Lack of
that.
separation.
But would that be free?
It would be free.
Do you have a head count of historically, how many people during the winter months?
Been there, but not in a while.
Monthly, how many people for these programs?
I would say it ranges like 20 to 25, you mean in-house?
Yes.
Yes.
That's right, and you have,
Then we have grab and go, and then we have
Right,
home
exactly.
delivered. It's really like the cooking space too, we don't have any separation, and all the programs at the senior center wouldn't happen. I mean, we could technically probably eat there, but then it would be serving, like going somewhere else, bringing it there, and then the county has a field day with the temperatures and the whole logs, and
Yeah,
it really, well, yeah, you probably know Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we want to just find a space within the amount of money we were going to spend anyway.
We should consider moving the kitchen from the senior center to the community center. Just taking all that equipment and moving it and having an actual functional kitchen in the community center.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that would work. We should consider that. And then it gives you more space in the senior center.
That's a great idea.
And we can have counters. Because there's no counter space on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that, we'll have to look into that.
Well, it would be a better idea last year. Then we could save money.
Yeah, well, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that's, that would open up the other,
To build out
two
of there.
rooms. Oh, I love that.
Would take-
Let's talk more.
Except then we would have conflict between the nutrition program and the rec programs. So there's conflict with this use of the space. Unless it gives
Yeah,
you
that'd be like a
something better.
separation, maybe like a door.
Yeah, I mean, we have to, there's a bigger reconfiguration and
Yeah.
consideration that needs to happen.
So,
Think about it.
all right. So
So the
the,
master plan.
so if we go to the senior center, I don't know the page number. It is,
We decided 49 to 200. 49 to 200.
49 to 20.
What page was that, sorry?
21?
What do you-
oh, it's a part-time assistant. I just wanted to see if we can bring that back up to 25,000 and just explain a little bit of what comes out of that line. So out of that line, one of my assistants, she does recreation aid, she does office assistant, and she also drives. So when she drives, we take the money out of, we don't use this line, we use the AAA, 5310, whichever grant she's driving for. So I take that money out of this one and then put it towards those grants so we get reimbursed for them because she's actually driving. But I don't want to lose that because I want her in the office more. I want her doing programs more. And we also use that line for going on trips. I have my other assistant, she works for Silver Circle mostly, but she comes with us on trips. So that comes out of that line as well.
Right now you've spent about 15,000, but I also know that we're coming into the holiday season. So do you use the part-time assistant more in the holidays, like over like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Are you going to use them more than you do in like the year?
Yes, we'll be using her more going on trips and everything, but like I do consistently use her. It just doesn't look like it because of the driving that she does, but that's only because we have a driving issue.
Right.
So if she wasn't, she'd be there all the time and you wouldn't see this, but you are seeing it. And the goal is for her not to drive and to be in senior center more often.
So we need to find new drivers. It's really, that's going to probably.
Well, like,
happen.
almost like a consistent driver for the senior center, not just driving to doctor's appointments. We have a lot for that.
Yeah.
But we need like a,
So Kelly, you're looking to have the same budget you had last year? Is that what
Yes.
you're asking for?
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I guess I could have said that.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in past years, the reason I had cut it originally, and I was also looking at numbers from a month or 2 months ago, we'd only spent 9,900 in 2023, we'd spent 13,005 in 2024, and now we are up to, like, what is it?
15.
Yeah.
14,850. Unless there's.
Yeah, 16, almost 17,000, which would take it up to, if we extrapolate that, it would be 22,000. And then,
The grant that she works on, she, is entering a lot for that 5310.
mhm.
Actually,
Those hours we need to capture, we can get those.
yeah, I don't know
reimbursed.
how to do that again.
Yeah.
We could talk about that.
Yeah, 'cause after-
And wants to have a meeting,
Yeah, because after we had that audit, I think there's more that we can get recaptured out of 5010.
even maybe my time too.
Yes, yes, some of the administrative time.
Okay.
But
So,
anyway, so if I was going to revise based on this year, I would say 23,000 instead of the 22,000. But you're saying next year you want to be able to use her more programmatically.
right. For what she's, and, I know we're getting reimbursed for the grants, for the money, so it's actually better for us. But it's not really what I want it to be. I want her to be in there. I want her to be in, doing programming more and being with the assistant.
Kelly, what grants are offsetting this again? Where?
AAA and 5310, it's the enhanced mobility.
But it doesn't offset the part-time assistant.
It's just when the part-time assistant is driving.
It's only when she's driving, but I really don't want her to drive,
And what's the other one, AAA and?
5310, it's enhanced mobility.
It's further in.
What page is that on? 5310, just out of curiosity. It's in the revenue side, right?
Well, yes, we have it in number 2 and then.
Shopping assistance program, is that one as well? Yeah, if you go to page 32, that's the senior center revenue, it's the 5310.
What's the expense size on 25, page 25?
Can you find it?
Yeah. So, see the 5310 drivers?
Got it.
That's the expense, and then we have the revenue on page 32.
So what they decide? I was getting my packet here. No, Gordon was just asking where he sees the grant.
5310, the in and out.
Got it. Answered. Did you get the answer to that? Yeah, okay, I was gonna say it's further back in the book.
32 on page 25.
Yeah.
5310 is through,
Oh, and
Shopping
shopping
assistant.
assistance is the other one.
It's the
Oh.
other grant. Oh, it's the other grant. That's-
Oh, shopping assistant, yes, sorry.
Degree 10 is a different.
Right. I think it's like 26 and
Yeah,
31.
page 25, yeah. So,
All right, so, everybody good?
I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't heard an answer. I propose 23,000. I'm just being tough this year.
Gordon, what do you?
Yeah, Ben.
hate to say this, but I feel like the 25,000, to be honest with you. What you had from last year.
Okay.
Albert? Albert, do you?
Suggesting here.
I will.
I think you're going to have an unusual year starting in January. That's what I think.
We're needing more help. Yeah. So right now it's 22, and you want to go to 23.
Yes, and what did you say?
The ask was 25.
Yes.
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Oh, okay.
I think 23 is fine.
Do you have any other possible drivers kind of in the queue or like just to fill?
I do,
what she's doing?
so what happens is, it's so like minimal,
Yeah,
that it's just someone that, you know, if they're there all day, yes, then they can be doing a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But if they're just waiting a couple of hours to drive someone home from a movie, yeah, we can try to get
yeah.
you know, one of our drivers or one of our volunteers, and we have. And she probably is driving less than she did last year.
Yeah, I mean, I see the benefit of having her there doing more programming. And with the nutrition program, does she help with the nutrition program? Sometimes, like when you have congregate meals or?
Well, when this one specific person will help if she drives over there for nutrition. Almost every Friday, she has to drive for nutrition. So she'll help over there. We just did a program on Tuesday. We actually had bingo over there just to try to like, and she helped with that, and I helped it, just to try to ramp that up and have some fun before the programs.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of.
So we could utilize her more there
Right.
on Mondays and Fridays, which I discussed with her.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about, you know, when we have this 3 months where nutrition's displaced, are you going to need the extra hands to help with wherever we end up? You know, that's kind of what I'm trying to, and I know they're not the same program, they're separate programs.
So we
but
try to act like one.
having an assistant in, or running programs might be helpful.
Right, I do try to say we're one department, where we run
Yeah.
the same thing. So the time you'd be in the same building
Yeah.
for the senior center and the nutrition program.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be separated like this.
So I'm just trying to anticipate the possible need for, you know, more hours or more hands on deck.
That is one of the things, having a TR
This is
person.
actually a one-off, because when you get back into your next year, it will be completely different. Once you get into, once the kitchen is done in the Presbyterian church, it will be different.
No, well, we really should be having some recreation programs. Emily's trying to do like more self-service, but it would be nice to have someone be able to go down there and do a program before lunch and possibly after for a little while. So it would just enhance the whole program overall.
Yeah, because nutrition program is separate from,
So like losing any kind of TR assistant or anything like that, you could just enhance the program instead of, taking away. And the more they're socializing, not just for lunch, better for them.
do we have any other?
Use 17. I'm okay with keeping it at 25.
Okay, so we have 2 for 25, 1 for 23.
Well,
25.
for 23.
Okay, then 2 for 23, and you said 25? Okay, so it's 25.
Albert, what's your number?
Albert's.
23.
23?
23, oh, okay.
So it's.
I'm sorry,
3 for
I thought
23.
we had chimed in already. Okay. 10,000. And then you had one more item, is that in Silver Circle?
Yes, Silver Circle, the program provider. We are going to finish off, I think right here it says 750, that was, well, that's your thing. I am going to finish off with the 1,300 that I have, with, like, we have Tai Chi, aromatherapy, and we have music. So I'd like to keep that budget the same. 1,300 if possible.
Because you are going to spend the 13.
We're going to spend it.
Just felt like, I think historically that hasn't been the case, but I do know you've been trying to ramp up the programs there.
Historically, it was not the case,
Mhm.
but you've definitely used it all this year so far.
No, 580 so far,
580.
I think, yes. Yeah, 580 through September 30th.
I think in my note I had 1,000. I had two notes. I had meals and snacks, I brought up to 2,500, and for the program provider, I took from the 750 to 1,000. Those are just in my personal notes after our discussion.
And I could work with that, if we could work around that.
I don't mind going to 1,300. I feel like seniors need programming, like if you can bring outside people, which you
Right.
with them, it's good.
The senior center also, oh, we're gonna keep that at 1,000. Okay.
What do we do with program provider?
I had a note to bring it up to 1,000. If we're definitely gonna use the 13 this year, I'm okay with 13, but I don't know what everybody else thinks.
Anybody?
I mean, we really do get a lot of volunteers there. We, that program, they get yoga and someone does a playhouse. There is a lot. I don't think it's a lot of money to ask for, programming for the seniors.
I agree.
And I do. with the senior center program provider, we lost watercolors. They went to the Historical Society. It's much prettier space for them, he said, and
They have better light.
better lighting. So I want to have like art come in there. I want ceramics, and I have a workshop. I actually have Carol Wilson coming for five sessions. The foundation is going to pay for that, but that's $500. So even if we did it as, you know, the town once, that's $500.
It's half your budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to. 100.
we typically, yeah.
For a year's worth of programming, that's not a lot of money.
I know there's, 13 for Silver Circle, and then, like, I have a defensive driving, class that we want to do, and that's expensive, that's $1,000. So if we get half of that money from the foundation, we get half of it, and maybe through maybe a revenue or a donation, we can get some of that back, but I still have to like pay the people.
Right.
So I was like asking if we could do the 1,500 for the senior center as well. Because we could do music. Typically, I ask the foundation to do our music for like our big parties. But it would be nice, even if it's like twice a year, to have it down there. Outside maybe, or,
Just back to defensive driving. Is that for our seniors or for our drivers?
I would love it to be for both. I think they could take up to 30 people. And I think the 5310, we could probably do something with training, because they need to be trained. They would like an in-house person to do it. We've been doing like a video, but it would be better to have.
Yeah.
Person, so I think it would be helpful for both. And we do have people calling for that, and I was trying to do it in October, but everything happened with the pharmacy and this, that, so now I'm gonna see if we can do it in November. But I like to do it next year as well.
Can I ask another question while the board's contemplating that line item? Silver Circle Meals and Snacks. The reason I took it down so much is, down to the 1,500, was because historically you weren't spending that much, like 2024, you only spent 1,400. It does look like, and I just pulled up through September, it does look like you have Beach Day in there, you had a 4th of July celebration. So I cut that, but it seems like you're starting to do more.
Well, with that, I was trying to tell the board last time we were out, nutrition usually takes care of Silver Circle, but during the holidays, it's hard. They have to come back in and do all these, like maybe 3 meals for the one day, or try to play catch up. And it's difficult for them to do Silver Circle. So to enhance the program, we'll order out. Or we have birthday parties, like you said, the beach. Tried to do the beach. It usually rains when we plan it, and then we have to come here, but we still plan the whole thing. But they enjoy it. We get pizza from Slice, and it just makes them so happy.
Yeah.
It really does. You can come down for it once if you want. Join us.
I think what I'd like to do then is up that line from 1,500 to 2,700 based upon
That would be great.
that
Thank you.
already up to 1993 through September.
Okay, that's great.
That would be really good. Thank you very much.
I'm in favor of that. I had a note to increase it from the 1,500. I had 2,500, but I didn't know what the year-to-date number was.
right, so then back to program provider question on the table.
I would like to keep it at 13. We already depend so much on volunteers to do so much of this, and for the senior foundation to fund so much of it, that, I think we can put 1,300 in.
Yeah, yes, I feel like I asked them for a lot.
Yes, you
Asked them to do a Mahjong tournament for us and
And I know that they're happy to support the program.
they're amazing.
It's the same concept as with the ambulance foundation. You don't want to be taking it for granted, and
Right. We're going to a play, they're taking care of it on Sunday, so.
yes, thanks. I would say 1,000. Albert Gordon Ben?
Where are you, what line? I'm just having trouble. following
programs?
them.
For program provider? So it's page 21, under Silver Circle, 6776.497.
All right. What are you raising that to? Want to raise it to?
Well,
1,000 or 1,300?
I mean, it gets like we're raising everything, but where do we take money from to cover those raises? Are we doing that or no? Just raising?
There's the
I mean,
problem.
what, I just,
Yeah, the same.
where's the fat, Kelly?
Oh, I was saying I wasn't keeping, I thought I was keeping it the same. But,
Restoring her ask and not
Right.
implementing the cut that I made.
You cut was down to 1,000.
I cut it to 750.
Wow. This says 1,000.
Are you looking at the senior center or the Silver Circle?
I mean, I guess if you're asking where the fat is, it would be right where, Amber, where you took out of the meals, right? We took a decent chunk out of that, right?
Out of meals and snacks, yes, because you had asked for 4,800, and so I originally said 1,500, but
Yeah.
where you are 2 months later after my original review,
There, right?
I'm putting it to 2725.
Great, yeah.
It's not, these aren't big numbers we're talking about, but it's death by
I know.
1,000 cuts.
Exactly, it's a couple $100 here, but we have to encourage some
Well, and,
lean thinking.
right, and so what we can do is in the water advisory committee budget area, we can take some of that and cut it and take it from WQI instead for the water testing. There's 20 grand.
It's beef fund. So it's a big fund.
You talk to them about it.
It'll be fine.
While you guys are deliberating, Shelby, I just have a sidebar question. A2590B dredging dock permits, did we settle on 30,000 or 38,000?
Which one?
A25, it's,
what page are you on?
this is a sidebar question. I want you guys to stay focused on Silver Circle. I'm pulling together my spreadsheet for waterways management. I just wanted to double check the numbers before I print it for you guys. So 30,000, thank you.
One thing that's not included that we need to put in is boat, gas, and oil. We need to add that line,
In our expenditures?
consider adding that line.
No, we had a reason for not including it, but we can discuss it when we bring it to the SJ board.
Program provider?
Yeah, that's the program provider. Yeah, I'm just trying to get something else accomplished while waiting for the others.
Yeah, but if we do cut things from the B fund, it still impacts the
It does.
overall
It does.
percentage of budget.
Yes, it does.
So, okay, I'm not crazy.
No, no, you're not.
I'm like, I think that this is an overall percentage.
Anybody?
I've already said my piece, so.
Me too.
What, you want 1,000? You want to go from 750 to 1,000 on this? Meg?
I will do 1,000 or I'll do 1,300, so it's up to the majority of the board.
Let's make it 1,000.
Fine, I'll do 1,000.
Okay. I think that was it for all of yours.
Well, there was some,
And then you had one more?
the other senior center program provider, that's the other one I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
But, wait, you have it for 1,000?
Yeah,
Why don't we just keep it like that?
yeah, you had 1,500. I put it to 1,000.
Okay.
We had modified the budget down to 1,000, so you'd already in
Yeah,
this year
that's
said
fine.
you're gonna spend
I'll
less.
figure it out.
Yeah, and looked where it would be for. So 400. Yeah, you've expended $300 so far this year on that.
Yeah, I was saving it for that driver's thing, but it's fine. I think I'll still be able to work it out.
Okay, so for Silver Circle program provider, we went to 1,000.
Yes.
Meals and snacks, we went to 2,700.
2725, or 2725 is what I put in.
Oh, okay. Does everybody else agree with that?
I was more comfortable with 2,500, but.
Oh, for meals and snacks?
Yeah,
I just extrapolated where we were so far this year, because she is doing more.
that's one way to look at it. Other way is, how do we save money? How do we fiscally manage this?
Well, we're cutting it from $4,800 budget to 2725. That was last year's budget.
I mean, it's $200, but, and I don't wanna, it seems like a crazy amount of money to argue over, but it's the overall approach. But okay, sure.
so in 2024, we spent approximately 1,500. Last year, we had a $4,800 budget line item, and to date, we've spent 1,700.
In 2023, she spent 2,100.
2023. So this year,
Yeah, it's just 27 what?
you still have the
2725.
end of the year to deal with.
So $225.
Thanksgiving and Christmas activities.
Right. I mean, we will spend a decent amount on New Year's Eve, but I think that we'd be grateful for the 2,700. Since nutrition, takes care of the majority of the food. It would be money.
Do you have another ask, Kelly? Or do we-
No, that's it. Am I done?
You're done.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you all decided.
No, I-
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Wait, before you change your mind.
Thought I saw the justices outside.
Yes,
Yes.
they are.
So you're saying 2,700.
2725.
Thank you.
I feel silly arguing over $225. I mean, I'll write the check. But gee, yeah. I guess they're bigger fish to fry, right? Okay.
Yeah, I have like a list of things in my head that I'm processing that we can adjust, and then there's also fees that we have to adopt for the docs that we didn't previously have fees applied to. So like, there's other things that we still have to think about.
I mean, I want to beat up on the seniors for $200.
Before we get to the dogs, though, like I have my waterways management plan. So it would not,
Impact
it
budget.
would keep it taxpayer neutral. All right, let's get the justices in here.
Huh.
No one's there at this point.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very fair.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Certainly.
Okay. You were back here. Let me just get to the right page. Okay, beginning.
It's not permanently on.
5.
Thank you. Yeah. Travel. I think that's what it was. Travel.
Yeah, something with Texas.
Training and travel.
Bahamas again.
Yeah. So, yeah, you had requested 2,500. I had left it at 2,500. And then related to that was just Association of Towns, putting in for one person going to Association of Towns, most likely the new Justice Court clerk,
Yes.
unless you were going to ask for one or two of you to go as well.
I'm not gonna ask to go to Association of Towns. Stanley might want to go.
What we had said, how are you, by the way? Good to see you both.
Oh,
What we had said was, I hadn't gone to anything, and that's probably in February, which is my month over here, so I haven't gone to anything. I said Mary Faith was gracious enough, right, to see if I wanted to go, she'd
Sure.
cover. I don't know if I'm gonna go or not, so I said if we do, we'll go, as long as she has enough for her drug court and everything else that she needs to go to. So we left that open in case.
So that brings us back to the travel line then.
Right.
Can you tell us what the history was on that?
Yeah, so in 2023, you guys used $526 in travel money. In '24, it was $1,350 in travel. And then this year so far, you used $233 in travel. So I heard there was, someone said something about you guys going to conferences somewhere, something
Yeah,
that
so-
might add to your travel this year to make it 25.
Because I serve on the East End Drug Court, and I'm shelter health representative to that, for which I receive no compensation. And I usually go with one of the other, actually, 3 of us usually go up to Saratoga Springs for a conference in March, which is the New York State Conference. And I've been doing that for the last few years. There's also a national conference, which we tried to go to as a team. We went 3 years ago as a team, and the town of Southampton paid for the entire team to go. And it was in Nashville, and they said that they would never do it again. That we needed to, if we were to go, we needed to put it in our own town budget. And so I have not put it in for the last few years and have not gone. But this will be like the 4th year, and I would like to go with the team this coming year to that conference. And that's a travel conference. This year it will be in Nashville again. It moves around. And it's most of a week.
Is it in Arizona when you're at the,
No,
is it?
No,
or
it's
is that
been-
West End?
it's been in Houston, it's
Yeah,
been in
Houston.
LA.
What organization holds it?
It is the National Association of Drug Court Professionals.
Do you have an estimated cost for that?
It's probably gonna be about $1,500 to $2,000.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be airfare to Nashville, plus the hotel
Right.
and per diem.
And can any of that opioid
I
money?
was just gonna say
That's what
that.
it is. Why can't we use some of that opioid money for this? It seems to be really directly related here.
I think it's an important, from my perspective, as not only a co-judge, but as an attorney, I think it's, they do phenomenal work.
Yeah.
She does very fantastic.
Maybe that's something to look at.
We would have to talk to the counties, because we'd have to do a budget modification to see whether or not they would actually cover something, like prosecution versus prevention. Or
So why don't we do that?
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be fine.
But you're thinking it's a $1,500 trip.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, Saratoga Springs, we drive.
Right, right. But you're not gonna drive to Nashville.
And Saratoga Springs is also one night in a hotel. It's not that bad. But the big conference is much more than that. And it's a national conference. There's thousands of people that go to this.
How many days is it typically?
It's the whole week.
Oh,
The last time we went on Sunday because it started Monday morning and we stayed until Thursday. So we didn't spend the entire week, but we spent
Yeah.
a number of days. But it's excellent. And it's not just for attorneys and judges, it's also for counselors and anyone who's affiliated in any way with the treatment courts. And it's all the treatment courts, it's DWI courts, mental health courts, drug courts.
Maybe the document you have that you've been working from, is that, you have something available that we could look at, that maybe it would tie in, that we can, Shelby, you take that, who does that here?
I can provide you with information.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the conference, sure.
So
Yeah,
we
I can do that.
You can send it to Shelby.
Yeah, if you send that to me, I'll send it on to the county.
Okay, that's fine.
Then we can just see if it's eligible. Otherwise, I would still like to keep it in the budget.
Okay.
And for AOT, is the programming there helpful at all? I mean, there's attorney programming, I guess there's programming for justices, but.
And for clerks.
Yeah.
For AOC,
Um,
Association of Towns.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, it's funny that you asked it because I wondered that it's an association of towns and there are town supervisors, but I just found out OCA, Mary Faith, I think you've been there before.
Oh, yeah.
But they have a table there where all the administrators from the Office of Justice Court support, who work with the governor, they're gonna be down there, the ones who give the courses for the judges, they're gonna be giving courses down there, so.
It's the
It's very-
courses, yeah, it's very good.
It's for the judges,
And for the clerks. And it's the regular training program. And so I've been many times because it used to be you had to go in person. And with COVID, they had stopped offering in person and now they're back to in person. And I do mine online because I do the other things. But it's really good, and especially for Liz this year, she's new. And it will give her an opportunity to meet, because it's from all of New York State.
Right.
So the Office of Justice Court Support, as Stanley said, will be there. All those folks that we normally deal with, and the regular training is given. And when you're done, you've completed your training that's required for the year.
in 2020, when I was elected, I think December 6th through the 13th, that the whole week, there was 5 days of courses, 12 credits altogether, before you can sit on the bench. These are those type of courses, then we're required to do 12 hours a year
That's what
of
this
courses.
is. This is the 12 hours.
And that doesn't include, when they send it to you, they send you training material to read booklets on changes in the law. That, if you sit and read it, takes me 2 hours to decipher and digest what's in there and memorize it. And you have some of the people speaking at these courses help write the law. And it's extremely, and then we have work we have to do and check in with them all the time. So it's a good thing to go to.
are those 12 credits part of your 24 or?
No, that's for justice. Some of there's CLEs,
Yeah,
certificates, which you're required to do as an attorney. And the CJE is for the Office of Court
But it counts
Administration.
for both.
But if you put in some of them, maybe
They
8
all,
of
they
them,
all count.
they all count.
They all
If you
count.
put in, if you put in certificates, and most of them, they issue certificates.
Yeah, they're all,
when AOT is now accredited, they can issue
not
the
AOT. This is the Office of Justice.
justice. For
But all,
for the
but these are the
CC
same
credits.
type courses, they,
What happens is the Office of Justice Court Support dovetails with AOT. So they come to AOT and they have the clerk's
And they're-
classes and the judge's classes offered separately, but in the same location, and you're there as part of AOT. But our classes, we get the continuing judicial education credits, but we also, if you're an attorney, you get the CLEs.
Yeah.
So if you do all of your CJEs, it's enough to renew your license.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to do the 24 plus another 12.
no, they,
All right.
many of them overlap, about 8 to 12.
No, they all overlap. Every one of them is
Okay.
approved.
Hmm.
And they're also set up so that you get the ethics credit, the diversity credit. So they're all approved.
Okay. Because I know AOT was just accredited, so they can issue the CLE credits directly.
To attorneys, they
To attorneys,
do.
they-
Yeah, they do.
But the CJ is different.
Yes, the CJ is different, but and as a matter of fact, interestingly, the judges' classes, you can't go to unless you're a justice. So if you're an attorney and you say, oh, I'd like to sit in, they won't let you. They only allow the justices. And the other thing that's interesting is many of the judges are not lawyers,
Yeah,
particularly upstate, because there's no requirement.
probably a good thing.
Who knows? But I remember the first year I went and they said something about, well, for those of you who are taking the test, and I'm there like, test. And the guy next to me said, well, are you a lawyer? And I said, yes. He said, oh, you don't have to take the test, only the non-lawyers take the test. So the non-lawyers have to stay and take a test when the classes are over for the day, but the lawyers all leave.
There's not a lot of people crashing these courses with their judges. So, okay.
The only comment I would make is if we are able to use the opioid grant money for the drug court training, where are we taking it from? Do we want to see, about scaling back the police portion of the budget, or do we scale back some of the programming that we've been doing for the opioid? Because we're not allowed to go over the 100,000.
So I think we would take it out of the police.
Okay, so we just have to also then check to make sure,
Yeah.
because East End Drug Task Force usually wants a 1-month commitment. So if we're going to adjust the time, we just have to make sure that that gets approved by the county. I mean, the county, the opioid, as well as the county East End Drug Task Force.
Right, out-of-state travel may be severely restricted, so we'd have to get pre-approval for out-of-state travel.
Yes.
For the opioid.
Unless you want to use the Saratoga conference, I mean, that's less, it's maybe $500 or $600, but if you want to do that, we could do that, because that's in-state.
Right. That would be easier to cover with the opioid grant.
Yeah.
So we'll look into that more.
Yeah, we'll have to.
But I mean, you said we used what, 200 1 year, 500 the year
Yeah.
before, so I mean, if we left it, let's say at 2,500, we don't use the money, you use that somewhere else, right?
Possibly. If we can cover some of this with the opioid grant, then we don't have to take it out of taxpayer dollars.
Right.
So that's kind of the objective, is to get you the same training, but not at taxpayers' expense.
Sure. I mean, one thing is that for the drug court, it's every other Tuesday afternoon. And I don't get compensated for that. All of us on the team serve as volunteers. And that's attorneys, outside of our coordinator, it's the attorneys and the judges are all volunteers. And the other thing is non-drug court related, but OCA, the Office of Court Administration, provides a lot of our equipment. So our computers are almost all furnished to us by the state, so we don't ask the town.
Is there
And when
an,
they say volunteers, I mean, they still want us in, they want somebody from the East End and the court administration, Judge Cahalan and everybody else, we're not gonna say no.
not to get too deep into the weeds here, but do you have to be an attorney with the CJE to serve on the drug task, the drug
You
court?
have to be a lawyer. I mean, you have to be a judge.
Okay.
There's a judge, as a matter of fact, this board passed a resolution for all the judges, and the other towns, Southold, East Hampton, and Southampton, had to pass resolutions for each one of us to serve. And so we have a judge from Southold, a judge from Southampton, a judge from East Hampton, and me. We're the 4 judges on the team.
Okay.
And we all have to be judges.
Because I do recall from AOT that the CLE is an extra expense.
Not for the judges, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's free for the judges. It's
Okay.
just the expense to actually
10.
go to AOT.
Okay, I was just checking, because I
Yeah, they
know,
don't charge for credit.
yes,
I think
yeah.
it's the lawyers who have to pay for the
Yeah,
CLEs.
I was gonna say, yeah, because the town attorneys, like, there's an extra expense, but we want them to be attorneys, so we pay it, but if justices aren't required to be lawyers, then
Right.
we don't need to pay that extra expense.
Right,
It's just
you
your
don't.
CLE, but you're not going to AOT anyway, so.
Yeah, it's offered by the Office of Justice Court Support, not by AOT.
All right, just,
And thank you for doing this volunteer work. That's great.
I really like it. I think it's very useful. I think it's great to help people with addictions. I mean, we have a number of people right now, they stay in the program for about a year. They have to be in compliance for at least 6 months. So if they fall off, we can start the clock again. But it's people who have been arrested for various misdemeanors and who want to get clean. The root of their problem is drugs or alcohol, and they want to get clean. And so they have to come to court every other week. And they get drug tested, and they also have to be in counseling, and that's all followed up to make sure that they are in their counseling. We have a coordinator, Charlene Mesha, and Charlene meets with each one of them, and she tests them, and then she checks with each of the counselors. So they're all doing a lot of work. And it's very gratifying when somebody graduates to see them get through the program. We had one woman who graduated most recently in August, and when she first came, she was going to counseling. She started counseling, and we recommended AA, and she didn't think that that was for her because she wasn't like that. And she started going to AA meetings, and she's now the poster child for AA and is a requested speaker at AA meetings all over the East End. And she said that she's found her calling. And so it's very gratifying to be part of that process.
And more than gratifying, for the attorneys, 1 or 2 judges are gonna want it mandated, and they track it, and they make sure that they stay in line and follow the program, or you're out, and then you go back, you violate, you go back to the court. Judge has the prerogative of putting somebody in jail, and it wreaks havoc on families, so.
Actually, there's a breakout, they sign a contract, and the contract they have to plead where what's called a pre-plea court. So they have to plead, usually as charged, and then there is the carrot, which is if you complete successfully, we'll let you withdraw that guilty plea, and instead you will get whatever. But there's also what we call their breakout, and if they do not complete successfully and we terminate them in the program, they get their breakout, which is often jail. So it's jail or perhaps many years of probation. And we've had, unfortunately, a couple of those, but.
And more than that, I think, I hate to say this, and I really do, but we've had 5 fatalities on this island with fentanyl and cocaine. And if this program, I know I represented 2 of them in private practice, and if they had gone into a program like this, it may have saved them. So this program, when Mary Faith says volunteer, goodness in my heart, no. It's more than that, it's phenomenal work, but it's necessitated by the court system, and they monitor it pretty closely. So thank you for doing that, and thank all the people who were part of it.
And the training is important because that's where, we learn about a lot of things. We learn about addiction, and you learn about the latest drugs that are coming out and what to look for. And there's all kinds of sessions in the training. So it's really helpful.
when we talk to the county, we may bring you into that meeting. I know that, heard enough and know enough from a different, up in Monroe County, somebody who went through that and was successful while she was in the drug court piece of it. So, but I think you probably can advocate much better than I can.
Happy to do it. And actually, I mean, we're not the only drug court, we're the East End Intervention Court, but there's up in Central Islip. And they have mental health court, and there's Veterans Court, there's an East End Veterans Court, so it's really good stuff.
And that's something that didn't exist until about, 2-3 years ago, I think.
No, it's longer than that.
Well,
I mean, Helen was on it for years,
but yeah,
Bill Price,
Bill Price was
Yeah, they were
also-
all on it for
Marty-
years and
Marty-
years.
Marty Rogers is doing it.
Well, Marty's veteran.
With,
she's veteran court.
Chad. But it's becoming a bit, where judges are starting to take advantage now of Veterans Court, thank God. And it's a good thing, so we may come back next year for something with Veterans Court for us.
All right. So I say we leave it in.
Yep.
So if we think that the 2,500 can cover it. And if we can get it successfully covered and do a decrease in PD, then we'll take down those numbers in a different budget line. But you have successfully advocated to me that even if we can't get the county grant, I would say let's keep it.
Let's still keep it in, yeah.
Okay.
I
Thank you very
be
much.
advocate for education and training.
Yeah, and
Yeah, this is not just a jaunt someplace to go and sit in the sun.
as long as everybody else agrees.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I agree.
Okay.
Drugs coming in from overseas, that's 50 times the strength that they have now over here, I mean, it'll be a year or two, it's awful.
There's one guy that we all like to go see, he calls himself Tall Cop. And he is a retired police officer. And he comes and he talks about the drugs and he's really incredible. But wherever he goes into the gas stations and all of these and checks out all the stuff because it's amazing how much stuff is legal that you can like kratom, that you can get really high on, all of that. And he teaches you all about that. And several of us have been amazed when you walk into a convenience store or something and there's a whole wall full of this stuff and it's all legal and you realize how much of this is out there.
It's crazy.
It's very scary.
Because
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Have a
for
great
saying
day.
this.
Thank you.
good luck to everyone in the elections.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so we can go back to the Shelby list of open items.
Where did
And
we
that's-
land with the social worker? I think that was when we
That's,
left
well,
off.
Benjamin had walked in, and so it was bringing him up to speed on the conversation. So going back to, thank you.
What'd you say, Amber Wilson?
7,
7 what?
17.
Wow, change. It's not working.
Sinus turtle.
It's at the top of page 17, if that helps.
Social worker. So what's the issue?
Okay, so last year's okay, so if you look at the 2024 adopted, it was 21,709. The actual spent was 47,000. That included what we thought was going to be covered by the opioid grant. Is the Suffolk County and the town worked through what could be reimbursed and couldn't be reimbursed. We just thought 8 hours of her time sort of directed towards opioid and helping people would qualify. And they were like, no, we need specific programs, like Vigil of Hope, any programming things that she was doing, and direct work with people with opioid addictions or in recovery. So we discovered that as we were starting off 2025. So in last year's budget, we had put in 44,220, which included 8 hours of regular social worker time and 8 hours of opioid. Once we discovered that very little of her time could be reimbursed, she's scaled back her hours. And so the current budget of $30,994 has 8 hours of social work time and then $8,300 towards opioid. And the Health and Wellness wants to restore her hours to 16 hours a week on just general social work. And I was holding the line for 2025 or 2026, saying I just want to keep it at the $30,994. And then the rest of the board can chime in where they
And
stand.
is any of that reimbursable from the opioid grant?
8,300
$8,300.
of the 31,000, basically.
So what does this leave us with, hours wise?
8 hours plus just under 3 hours a week on opioid stuff.
And they want another 8 hours? Is that the request, or another 5?
Another 5.
Another 5.
This is, not that I know, but it feels like it's important.
Yeah, I mean, the point that the Health and Wellness Committee made is that the need is not going away. And by cutting her hours, she's just providing less service to the community. And considering what's been going on in the world, there's kind of more need for the service. And she's already not compensated the way another social worker would be compensated for doing the work she's doing. So cutting the hours seemed like a possible detriment to the community.
I mean, I'd rather put
so-
money into this than a few of the other things we discussed.
I'm
This
listening to
process.
Mary Faith, how do you really?
Right, right. She helps a lot of people sign up for services, for rebates, for like fuel in the winter, for things like services that they need during really tight seasons. And I think we're going to come into a pretty difficult financial year for a lot of people. I don't feel like this is the year to cut here.
And she can serve the whole community, not
Correct.
just seniors.
No, she can serve anybody. It's community-wide service.
I'm for giving the 5 hours with the caveat of saying, like I said, there are other things that we've talked about that we can probably pull the money back from.
Such as?
Well, I mean, we'll go through it at the end, but there's a host of things. I mean,
I just,
nothing specifically right now, but there's certainly departments that we've sat here and discussed that seem overfunded. And this one seems underfunded.
with the increase that we're looking for $14,000.
Oh, for the extra 5 hours?
Mhm.
It's 14 grand?
Yes.
So right now it's 34?
It's 30,994, so
Oh.
basically 31,000.
Okay. What would be a happy compromise?
31,000.
No.
That's why I'm leaving it to the rest of you to battle out.
I mean, if you look at it in '24, she was doing 16 hours a week, right? That's where the 47,000 comes from. Because we weren't able to get any of that really, we would get minimal amount reimbursed through opioid. So right, I mean, we didn't really get much.
No.
Yeah, so there is work to be done. There is 16 hours.
The 24 budget was 2 days, is that correct? 16 hours?
Mhm, yes.
Where do you want to end up on this, Peg?
I mean, 44, keep it what we had originally budgeted for this year.
Do we ever work out a location for her to work?
Yeah, we got that sorted.
Yeah.
And
No
that's
longer an
actually
issue.
being okay. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
And there's still definitely no way to get any of this reimbursed.
We were gonna try to get $8,000 worth of it reimbursed, so in 2 hours. Whatever we can, but, no.
And she reports to who?
What do you mean?
In the town, she's
Town supervisor. She's like a department of one.
And she has a social worker liaison that she works with, just for guidance. And you two are on health and wellness. I don't know if she participates in that committee.
She does come and,
some,
yeah, not all the time, but sometimes she comes. And she's currently training or working with another social worker. She has a social worker in training that she's working with too right now, so.
and her job description is pretty clear in terms of her job, in terms of she's not doing therapy. She's basically just directing people to different organizations. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've worked on some of that. We worked on that, we looked into her insurance coverage, we have the insurance coverage, so there's still things that we want to nail down, but yeah, we've looked into all that.
I think most of the time it's resource.
It's resource driven is what she's doing.
Well, you seem to hesitate on, that's why I'm asking that question.
Well, because when you're meeting with someone and you're helping them with resources, in some ways that's a type of therapy. I mean, she's not specifically meeting with people to do therapy. No, she's meeting with people to give them resources and guide them in the right direction on where they can find help. That's her purpose.
She does it, there's no need for supervision then.
No, what are you talking about?
Professional supervision.
No,
doesn't-
she has to have professional supervision because of the classification of her license.
Okay,
So that's a legal requirement.
good. But she doesn't perform therapy, one-on-one or whatever the case may be.
No.
Why, you were suggesting getting rid of the social worker liaison?
Well, no, I guess the question is, but I think, I don't want to speak for Albert, but if she's doing therapy or she's doing individual meeting people on a regular basis, that's obviously why she has has this professional person that she reports to.
No, she doesn't have to be doing therapy to have that person that she reports to, because her license, her title is whatever it is, I don't remember the exact initials. Because that's her title, she's required to have supervision, whether she's doing therapy or not. Just because the work she does puts her in a position where she's required to have supervision by someone with a higher certification than her.
Is she an LSW?
I don't remember, Albert, but I can look it up and send it to you.
I was just going online.
I'm just looking at an old email from her that I had asked about what it was because of the opioid grant. And she said she holds an LMSW. So she's a licensed master of social work, not a licensed clinical social worker. So she does not hold clinical.
She has to work under
licensure.
somebody, and that's why we have the professional person.
Right,
If she had further degrees, okay, she wouldn't need that.
right. If she was an LCW, she wouldn't need it, but because she's an LN, she's a master's, she needs it.
I think we need to increase this number. But you guys are the liaison, so you have a better idea of what is actually going on than
I
I
would
do.
even take it to 40. I think
Okay.
more than 8 is
I'll take
an
40.
ask.
I'll take that.
Figure that out on an hourly basis
Yeah,
though.
we do that on
Yes.
an hourly
Yeah.
basis, make it a round number.
Mhm.
I think there's a formula in the.
Yeah, I was
Is there
gonna say,
in
in my spreadsheet, I know I have one. So is that where the rest of the board? I've heard two
Even
at
if it's
40.
10 hours, whatever comes to a round number, around 40.
So Meg, you're proposing another $13,000 or so on the 30,000?
Yes,
Yeah. Either that or just 10,000 additional, make it 40,000, and we'll figure out what the hours are that get her close to that. I don't know if it's above or, it's about 55 an hour.
55.48. Well, if she worked 12 hours a week, that would be 42,326 plus the opioid piece.
Okay.
You want it a little bit less, 10 hours? That's only,
Sure, 10 hours.
that's two extra hours a week.
Sounds chintzy.
I think 12 makes it 6 hours a day.
Yeah,
for
sounds
2 days.
chintzy.
Yeah, I would do 12 and do 42.
It would be 42,326.
What was that number, Amber?
42,326.52.
and there's still there's still a possibility that through that opioid grant, that can be reviewed in further detail, that there might, to me, it seems that we're only getting 3 hours out of that.
Mhm. That's all, I mean, she's been trying to find ways to increase her hours on that. Just because she wants to do more in the community. But right now, we figured that the $8,331 from the grant was good. Police was the number that they came up with, and then we put the rest into programming. So it's a $100,000 pot, so if we increase her, then we have to take it from someplace else.
I mean, at that point, I would take some of it maybe from programming, because honestly, it wasn't well attended. They were amazing programs,
Right.
but they did not have great attendance the last,
And I agree with him.
And
right?
I think that this program this weekend, the Thrive program, she said was great.
Well, that would be amazing. I would like her
Yeah.
to do more programs like that if it's well attended. It's just the
Mhm.
ones that they did at the school were very poorly attended,
By the
even though they were great
by the
programs.
community, but the school attendance,
The school
was good.
attendance was good, but the
Yeah, 'cause
community
we had
attendance
the-
was poor.
like middle school, and then we had the high school, so
Yeah,
both of the, like.
I think if you were able, you're saying the same thing I'm saying, that we could share more of the opioid money with the social worker, it would be better spent.
no, not necessarily, not if we can't get reimbursed for it. The problem that we've had. in the
I understand that, but
past is
if we could take more, if we could take more from that, and we could get more of that funding for her, that would be better there than being in the police department. That's
No,
what
not necessarily, because we've already
She
tried
has to
that.
like
and-
specifically be working with people in
People.
recovery. It can't just be a general
Okay,
Right.
but,
hourly coverage.
okay.
And that was kind of that was the issue we ran into last year. She
Because they-
said fortunately, she didn't have a lot of clients like that.
Right.
Yeah, and when we applied for the grant.
But we can use her hours when she's hosting these
I got it.
events, her time, yeah.
So she breaks out her hours, how much time she
Correct.
spends on
Mhm.
opioid or drug addiction, that's
Right.
what. So really, a lot of it
Yeah.
is not drug oriented.
Correct.
It's a lot of it is other issues that,
Right,
And since she wouldn't be doing therapy for someone who has an addiction, then it's just a referral to a service, so we're just not gonna spend a lot of time on that. Unless it's a program like the Thrive program that she did on the weekend, which is like a whole event.
so, and when we applied for the grant, it was two-pronged. One was to go after enforcement to stem the tide of drugs coming into the community, and then working with people who were on the drugs or trying to recover from the drugs. So it was always a two-pronged approach in this grant.
I can appreciate, the value of having extra hours. I just wrestle with the fact that we're trying to find cuts in this budget as we go through it. And there's always gonna find things that could be supported in a greater fashion. I wrestle with that, frankly.
I mean, I think we
That's where I
can
was.
go through and put in all the things that we want to see and then go through and find cuts. I feel like we need to. I want to see the whole picture on what we want before we go and figure out what we don't need.
Okay, so we've got a number 42,326. So back to Shelby's list.
Okay.
Okay, the next highlight I had was on page 19. You were gonna check with legal on the fireworks and the Legion.
What page are you on?
19,
What was your original question?
That's
if it's an eligible expense or not.
I'm sorry, what item?
The fireworks and the Legion.
Okay.
It's kind of in the,
It's kind of the same category as the Historical Society, just on a smaller scale.
No.
So we cut the Historical Society, so in my mind, we have to cut the publicity for the fireworks and the American Legion donations is where they are.
We're not allowed to make these kind of donations.
Right, which is
So
why
actually,
I zeroed them out.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean,
Nothing against the
it's
Legion or the
$1,100.
fireworks.
I think
But-
we take to zero.
it's an unconstitutional gift.
Yeah, let's not do
Mhm.
bad stuff. Just because we think it's a good idea.
We did it to the Historical Society, fair is fair.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's go to zero.
the next thing was in nutrition, so on page 20, the next page. I think this was just still an outstanding question we had for you, Amber, but for van maintenance and fuel, you zeroed it. Was that because you tied it in to one of the grants?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's,
Yeah, that's,
the next one, if you want to get into it. Page 23 is housing board.
Yeah,
That's a big highlight.
we did get a ruling back.
yeah, we did,
So we can-
a ruling.
Wait, recap the
An
issue again?
opinion.
An opinion, we got an opinion.
Is this, Ask Thomas, that's what I got.
Yes.
And we did,
And we did get an email from Thomas.
we got an answer.
So let me just find that.
So I found it.
Yes, please.
All right, so Community Housing Fund Committee Clerk. The question was, can we pay for the committee clerk out of the community housing funds? And his response is the town can pay the clerk out of the community housing funds. However, it needs to be very clear that the clerk is only working on community housing fund matters and not anything else for those funds. And the funds must reasonably relate to the function of the clerk as the community housing fund committee clerk. So essentially just paying for her community housing board salary with the fund is fine, but we can't pay for her work in other,
It's like
committees.
the other clerks in CPF.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Different.
We're gonna do that anyway.
so the answer was yes.
So if we have a total for community housing of,
What's it equal?
It's
How much was it?
6,600.
no, I'm just saying 74,100.
So what did you want to pull out of the fund?
Let me just,
Oh,
I want to see what I already had my notes on.
What's this $8,000 I was questioning here? Is that the amount that the clerk was?
6,600.
So I think when we had talked about it before,
Yeah, so what we had was, yeah, I've got my notes. So for site plan, the legal fees for site plan review, we were already pulling out of the community housing fund.
right,
The legal services of 15,000, we were gonna pull out of community housing fund. The 30,000 for the consulting, which is to do the redo of the housing survey, was coming from the community development block grant.
right.
So that just left the 6,600, the 500, and 2,000 for advertising and communications.
That's
I
the-
think the 6,600 can definitely come out of the fund,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the clerk.
And the office and miscellaneous is just a proration of some of the shared costs for having that clerk. But then also there is some direct office and miscellaneous.
And is CHB objecting to this?
The chair was.
Yeah.
All right, so if we go back to the cover page, Shelby,
Yeah,
we had,
from CHF.
yeah, I'm just looking, from CHF, we had 20,000 because we had only talked about the legal services. So it's now going to be 6,600, 500, 20,000, and 15,000. So 42,100.
42.
Yeah, did you check me on that? 42,100. I just want to make sure you get the same number that I do.
Well, this is gonna be in a different, this shouldn't be in the A.
We-
This shouldn't be an EA fund to begin with.
It's, we will pull it out similar to
Right.
how we've pulled out
CPF.
CPF and WQI. But because it was funded from a fund in previous years,
Right.
that's why it's always stayed here,
42.6, you said?
42,100. The
Did you
only,
include the advertising and communications money?
oh, maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
1,000?
Yeah.
Okay, 43,100, thank you.
So the total number is what now? New
Oh,
total?
you included the 1,500 too, right? For the office and
Just-
miscellaneous?
Yeah. Let me go back. It's 74,100. CDBG
It's 30.
is 30,000,
We
which,
have that as a revenue?
yes, I think that's,
I
I
want
was,
to double check
I
that.
was just about to say, I want to check that because that's still in CDBG, like that should be in the revenue section.
It'd be under town board.
I think it's under, state and other. I'm getting 44. Yeah, it would be 44,100. I just want to check the CDBG. I thought it was the $70,000 that I had put in. Actually, no. Let me just think about that, because that's in, no, we haven't gotten it yet, so it will be in this year. Even though for them, they call it 2025.
What you're saying is in that group right there would be a $44,000 savings.
I don't see, no, it's
Yeah, I don't-
be, so next year, $24,000 savings.
You're looking at revenue. I guess.
Yeah, we're seeing that 30,000 is in, because it's not,
Yeah, I don't see it as a line item. Yeah.
Okay, it's on page 28, and we don't have it in there. We take that back, we do. It's further up, we have two lines for CDBG.
35. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have 35,
It's a 5 for cast.
If I forecast, we put that expense in and we put the 30,000 from missing
Oh,
and not the full 70,000 because,
What page is that on?
28.
28?
yeah, so I did properly reflect it for the expenses in here. The other 35,000. Why am I drawing a blank? Cast,
You're butchering?
Yeah, there's something. for
yeah,
deer.
deer butchering, and then also, you know, the ramp is out of this year's money at Goat Hill.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't put in the deer butchering. There's another piece we're missing. There's
Well, we-
another, there's another like 20,000 or something.
You know, we were thinking of projects, but that would be for 27, right?
Yeah, that's,
So
yeah,
that's-
that's
yeah.
future, yeah. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
we'll revisit it, but 30,000 comes out, 44,100 is what we need to reflect on the cover sheet.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You found it?
Yeah, I was having trouble finding it in the spreadsheet, but I see it here.
Okay. Yep, so that was Community Housing Fund. Community Housing Board.
I don't think I even answered yet. Was in landfill revenues. Have a note on brush in.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to the building department about any jobs on vacant lots.
Page is that on?
Page 30.
Have a note, 150,000 with a question mark. What do you have in your spreadsheet, Shelby?
Still have the 120 with the question mark. I think Catherine was gonna research, they had a big brush revenue poll in May 24, because we were looking at the 24 actual. And I think she was gonna look back
Why that was such a,
to see why.
And then I was just gonna ask about projects that are coming up. Because people haven't been able to clear until I think November 1st because of the bats. So there was a reduction, but there's projects that are going to be starting. I can think of one big one on a vacant lot that's gonna require clearing, so I just want, you don't know how much of that is gonna go to the landfill either.
We're thinking that's understated.
Possibly. But I think 220.
so I had a question mark, Shelby, for New York State DEC hazmat.
Yeah. We've received 23 and 24, but then we have to ask if we'll receive anything for this year.
Yeah, there was a funky journal entry in 2025 that was throwing us into a negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
I
on,
sent them an email, the accountants, but they didn't.
yeah, because that was on top of receiving money.
Yeah, I did. I sent them an email because then they said once they take a look at September close, they're gonna review all of those,
Okay.
the entries that look weird.
I feel like we do get hazmat money every year, so we should budget for something. Unless
Yeah.
you've got it already.
We have in the past, 2023 was 15,600. 24 was 60,400. So I don't know
Mhm.
why it's gone the direction it went in.
Yeah, just pull up.
Yeah, nothing this year at all.
No,
No, we're saying that the accountants did a weird journal entry, so we're asking them why, like why it looks like negative.
so you're saying that the 11,500 was 2023, and then we did get the 2024 12,000. So maybe we just put a budget item in for 12,500. I think that 60,400 was an anomaly, because you said what was the 2023?
2023 was $15,596. So I think
12,500 is conservative, yeah.
Safe.
Any open questions on the B fund?
Oh, we have to change the new building inspector.
Yes. And we also are going to put in tires.
We are gonna put in tires.
The Amber, the concrete in, why did you raise that? What was the reasoning there? The thought process, whatever.
I've already turned the page. What page are you on?
30. I was just looking at the landfill revenues.
Hold on a second, let me just highlight what we did. Based upon what we had received so far this year, which was at least through, what numbers was I working off of, July? Where are we now? We had received last year at this time 73% of our income, so we were up a little bit, and that's why I took it up. Or you're saying I took it down? I took it down from this year's budget. Yeah, I took it down from, yeah, because if we've only received 73% in, similar to last year, we're not tracking as high. And when I looked at revenue numbers, I would look at the past couple of years, I would look and see what percentage we had received in last year at this point in time, and extrapolated this year's number based upon that.
I mean, I'm on concrete in.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Are you talking about clean concrete?
Oh, clean
Because clean concrete, you
Oh, I
did
mean,
go down, but concrete in you went up.
You raised it up to 23,000.
I'm sorry, highlighted the wrong one. That's 23.
I just wondered what the reasoning was, that's all. Was there some explanation? Just curious.
Yeah, last year we had received 41% by July 31st. And based upon, if we receive the same 41% this year, we'd get up to that number. I also looked at what did we receive August through December last year, and if we did the same, even though it wasn't as high, we still would be up. It's a shot in the dark.
It just seems like we have, over $8,000 remaining this year from a $19,000 budget. So you increased it, another 4,000, whatever.
Yeah, let me just take a look, because, I mean, it's too, like, from when I worked on this was back in August, so I only had July numbers. Got this to you all in early September, so I didn't have the benefit of August numbers, and now we have September numbers. Let me just see. I can always go back and recrunch too. But then I'd want to do it for all the revenues. I can take a look at that one. Is there any others you want me to look at?
I'm just looking through now. I wasn't just looking through. But I can don't take the time now. I can go through it on my own. If I
Okay.
have an issue, I can come back to it.
Shelby, since we have numbers through September now, were you gonna update this? I thought I saw an email where you were working on it, but I don't know if
It's
it's.
updated online.
Okay.
I have the spreadsheet I can send to you. That's on you, how you transpose your.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't ask you to transfer this.
Yeah. But yes, online, the budget PDF has the through column, through September.
You don't have to update mine. I've got my own.
Yeah, no,
that I've got
I don't
going,
need you to
but-
update like that. Be fun, right?
We were going to be fun.
Building inspector,
Yes.
he stays the same.
Really, the only highlight I have was Water Advisory Committee. That is page 40.
Let's do.
Yeah,
Building and
I was gonna say,
zoning
let's just, so buildings.
Yeah. He stays at 40. Is that?
What page was that, Shelby, please?
We're going back to page 37, under Building Department.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was hired at 87,500. No, that's a 2026. I don't see.
So 43,750 is right.
Yeah, I just want to double check that. I think it is, because that's what Reed put in. So I didn't make any adjustment. So that's fine. Let's go down to car maintenance then.
We're gonna do 300 and then 300 in zoning.
Yeah, but let me just, I wanted to look at car maintenance to see, like, has anything actually been billed from the highway department to?
$362 in 2023,
Mhm. And then nothing
and
since,
nothing since.
which is when we got the electric cars.
Right, so it was like
So I think that,
$700.
I think that 500 covers the 300 then, for the tires in both sides.
Yeah, so if we put 300 in building and 300 in zoning, plus the 2 in assessors, that covers the $8 for the tires,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
That's how we were doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a note that for education and training, both the building and zoning departments, that Reed was going to rework education and training.
Yeah, because Association of Towns dropped their track, and there's new building code coming into play in 2026. There's probably going to be trainings for them, but they're not going to be here. Like, they're not going to be at association, they're going to have to figure that out.
Right, so we were going to take Association of Towns 0, but then some of it would get reallocated.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, it might end up just down in education and training.
Mhm.
In text reading, CP.
That's what I was just doing.
Oh, well, there you go. I'll let you do it.
Okay. Okay, so we can go back to WAC. If that was the next one that Shelby had.
Yep. It's page 40.
Just to is everybody ready for WAC?
All right,
Bring it on.
let's do it.
I was moving to WAC unless you had something else before then.
Nope.
Page 40. So to recap what was going on in WAC, clerk's fine, office miscellaneous is fine, communications is fine. The water level monitoring, that is a contract that we have with USGS, 28,386. We're in the middle of that contract, that number stays. So then the next 3 lines was the MRI for saltwater intrusion, and that was the add-on to the USGS 2 wells that were dropped for saltwater intrusion as part of their study, just to get more detailed information.
So 20 grand.
That was 20 grand. And then on USGS 10-year baseline study, originally Andrew had put in 20,000. I had suggested taking that to 0 because I thought if we do it, then let's apply to WQI. Then when,
You can have WQI, right? Okay.
and when Andrew came back, he said it was going to be $69,000. I guess we had
For
some.
just 1 year.
For just 1 year, and it was 240, yeah, 240 for the entire. So Andrew is considering, you and Joe were meeting with him earlier, and I popped in for a minute, Andrew was going to go to WQI and apply for them to take it.
The 69.
The
The
240,
240.
because if we
The whole
agree,
kit
yeah, if we
and
agree to it, we have to apply for the full 240 over 3 years.
Right.
And the old WQI law was more constrictive on what could be done. The rewrite of it seems broader and more likely that this could be done. Back in 2017, is it 2017 or 2018? Let me see if I still have that open.
How much money is there?
17.
In WQI,
Yeah.
like $3 million.
Mhm.
Yeah. We were able to do a baseline study back in 2017. It cost $30,000 at the time, but we didn't have as many add-ons. And this is a much more comprehensive study. And then, so that's why I took that to 0. The water testing, Andrew had proposed 25,000. I had cut it to 23,000 because there was money left over in 2024 that we rolled to 2025, that we were now again rolling to 2026. And that had been, $2,000 had been spent. So I was suggesting 23,000, but we were going to take that from the rollover money. So that was one of the things added in under fund balance on the cover sheet.
Is there a real plan to spend that this year?
Yes,
No,
no?
I thought, we talking about the water testing, right?
Yes,
Well, I think they wanted to start with 2 areas only. Rather than do at their 13, they were gonna just do 2 areas.
but that's still,
I don't want to lose track of it, though.
right,
No.
but that would still spend the 23,000, but
Right.
I walked in later on the conversation.
They want to start with 3 areas, maybe 4, depending on the size and the locations. And the goal would be to do it over a number of years and to get a higher concentration of tests in each zone. So like literally door to door, hey, we want to test. So they have like a whole protocol for how they want to run it, but they want to start off with 2 or 3 zones. They're thinking 3 zones at first, just to make sure that their protocol and everything is working correctly before they expand it to the entire triangle. And so they were going to pick, and then they were going to go on from there. But it's something that he already proposed to WQI, and I guess WQI agreed that they thought it was something that they could cover, so.
And so it's going to come to us.
Right.
Because it's not the regular, it's not a IA system, which does not require public hearings. So he's going to bring it to us in a town board work session to see, like, WQI has made this recommendation, this is the proposal, will we move it to a public hearing?
So they're going to come and do a whole presentation on how they're planning to roll it out, what the goals and objectives are, and, the whole thing. They'll give you the whole picture.
Okay,
And then, so we'd set a public hearing, have a public hearing, and then make a decision.
okay.
And then we can approve or not using WQI funds to fund the water testing.
But because of that, so if that is eligible to be paid for with WQI, we don't need to use the rolled over money, which then could be used for the saltwater intrusion add-on.
Right. I would like to do that.
So it would cut this budget further by 20,000
Right.
if we can use old money, WQI money, for those 3 line items.
Mm-hmm. Was that realistic on that 20,000? Use QI money, WQI money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that,
Like WQI has
That's-
already agreed
yeah, WQI's
that
already
they will
said.
pay that. So it's just up to us to approve it.
And it was
Yes.
a 20, yeah, so that was a $25,000 ask. So we'd be restoring that to 25,000
Right.
versus what I had put
23.
in for 23. So we'd put
And where
25,
does the other side of it show up.
The other side of it shows up on the cover page,
Mhm,
and we have WAC water testing.
mhm.
I'll
Um,
go to 25.
So that would go to 25 if we take that to 25.
Okay.
And then the question is, since that's going to be a later in this year ask for the USGS 10-year baseline study,
Mhm.
the recommendation would be either to put in the 69,000 and then put in 69,000 coming from WQI, or we leave both at zero because it's still early in the process. And if it does get approved, which most likely would happen in the new year, we would do a budget modification where we would record the transfer from WQI, so a revenue item, and we would record the expenditure here.
Let's do that. Let's hold off for
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
So water testing goes to 25,000, that's WQI, and then, let me just see, did we put that?
So if we're rolling over the 20 for the water, saltwater intrusion,
Then I say we take the MRI, well, is that a hard number that Joe has for the MRI for saltwater intrusion? Is it 20,000 definitely?
I think so. Let me see if I can find the contract.
Because I'd say we take water testing to 25,000 to show the WQI ask, and then let's just put $23,000 in for the MRI for saltwater intrusion, just so we cleanly track
Okay.
what's
Yeah,
being
that's
rolled over.
And I'll ask Joe and.
Yeah.
So that'll go to 23
Mhm.
and
So I guess on our cover sheet, Shelby, we need to just add another line in the B fund section.
say that's a transfer from another fund, right? Coming from WQI.
Right. Yes. Saltwater. No, that's for water testing. The fund balance over is for saltwater. Everybody's got that?
Mhm.
so I'm changing WAC water testing to saltwater testing. And it's
Yes.
23.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And then
And we're leaving the USGS 10-year baseline study at zero.
Joe says that's a placeholder for the saltwater intrusion MRI study in 23, so that's fine, yeah, so it's fine.
Oh, he doesn't have a hard number.
Okay, he's still texting them. Yeah, he said that USGS said that's an approximate amount, but they haven't finalized hard numbers, and, since they're shut down right now, we won't get an answer. Yeah, so we probably won't know until the new year, so 23 is fine, we'll placeholder for that then.
I think that was it for B fund open questions. I don't think we had anything to do with DB.
Do we have-
Yeah.
But,
So I don't think we've gone over them yet.
yeah, we went over them like on
We
the
like
fly.
very quickly, the first
I
day.
don't think we actually did
Do
with
you
Ken.
have executive session?
No. I don't think so.
Tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
You want
hang on.
Yeah.
It's in your building.
Oh, I saw them at Stars.
Executive session.
Was that today or?
We did it.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yes, 2 days ago.
Yeah, but that was, I think, it's for tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow's even better than today. Well, it's getting what everybody mother told me when I was a kid. So, don't put off till tomorrow to do today. That was a lie.
So I think that was it then for the open questions.
I feel like I did something wrong on my WAC part. Did I zeroed out the wrong things, didn't I?
Yeah,
That's going to
that stays,
WQI.
yeah, that's 23,000 stays, that's gonna use.
Right.
That's gonna use rollover money. The next one is 0 WQI, that's good. And then this one goes to 25,000 and it's WQI.
Okay.
And then go to your cover sheet. So we've got 23,000, yeah, so if you go up here, you're gonna add 25,000 transfer from other funds. And then just to keep track of it, I insert a line there. And that's not gonna be water testing, that's gonna be salt water, and then the WQI poll is gonna be
Okay.
water testing.
Got it.
Do you wanna print out that WMAC? Like maybe we do that for the last 25 minutes?
Play my printer.
I brought my percentage down, 5.9.
Okay,
I'm 6'1", so I have no idea.
I haven't been tracking mine
me
because I'm
neither.
still pegged on my supervisor.
I don't even think it's right.
I've been letting Shelby in
So mine's 7,
without any,
without cell tower, without A fund balance, and without B fund balance.
Sorry, someone.
oh, you took the cell tower 67,000 out too? Okay, and then you took the fund balance for B down to 0 as well?
What percentage did you have?
We're at 5.7
With no fund balance costs. Except for the Waterman program, green options, which we have to look at after I sat in on part of that meeting this morning. And jetties and bulkheads and town landings.
Right.
We're doing rollovers in 2025, and the 100,000 for comp plan for the environmental impact statement.
Right.
So,
and the ones we talked about today. Housing fund and
Oh, yeah.
mhm.
Oh, I did that this one, never mind.
We still are pulling from fund balance, we're just using fund balance created in 2025,
Right.
which is
It's also,
part of the mistake that your former CFO made, because your former CFO would not understand or
Well,
fund balance pulls created in 2025.
that's true, but what's your forecast for the fund balance after, at the end of this year?
I've got that. I'm
Because
gonna,
that's the question.
Yeah, I've
It's
got-
not
I've got a
about What's
spreadsheet.
created, what's not created, and it's how do you fiscally manage?
I've got a spreadsheet, I've got ideas, I'm gonna turn it into a PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
Because
So
I
it's not
feel
a
like,
mistake you made, it's like, well, what's the fund balance? Like, how are you burning the money?
yeah, except you're presenting, yeah, but you were presenting it as something like, as a fait accompli when not working with all facts.
Well, no, we can fiddle it at the end, but, once again, given the history and what was projected and presented to us, we were, in 3 years, we're out of fund balance.
We have
Unless we do something to
We
not be out of
always-
fund balance.
And because we always underestimate revenues, we always create fund balance, and we have the history of that now. The only year we did not create fund balance was in a COVID year, and that was because it was COVID, and so we didn't have a creation department revenue,
better than
building
the,
department, like things were down.
Nothing would make me happier
Yeah.
than for you to tell me we're not left with 1.3 million dollars at the end of this year.
Just like double check it quick.
Yes, with my numbers.
Oh, yeah, I can't believe it.
Your magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Is it possible for
You
you
know
to
what?
email?
Yeah, that blue is hard to read.
Shelby, what was that you were passing out?
I'm gonna email it to you.
Jeez. If you can email it to me as well, so.
Yes.
Not hoping reading that.
Let us know when you have it, Albert. Well, waiting for Albert to get that. How do you all want to proceed? We have tomorrow scheduled in the afternoon for from 1 to 4, and then we also have next Wednesday. Unfortunately, my Suffolk County Supervisors meeting was canceled on Wednesday and got pushed to next Wednesday, which we now have a budget work session scheduled. So I'm waiting to see what the agenda is to see whether or not it's mission critical that we go to that.
Was your supervisor meeting yesterday? Is that what it's supposed to be?
It was yesterday, Wednesday?
Yeah. Oh, so
I
it
don't know
got
what
pushed,
day it is.
it got pushed to next Wednesday.
Yes, exactly, yeah. But looking at the calendar, like if need be, I'll just miss it. But, so we have tomorrow from 1
Do we
to
have a town
4.
board meeting on Monday?
We have a town board meeting on Monday night.
We can, what about before that?
I think, well, there's WAC.
Yeah, it's busy.
two,
What time's the VAC?
Two,
On
And the
Monday?
Community Preservation Advisory Fund Board is in the morning. So,
It's not on my schedule, the WAC. Oh, WAC, not
WAC.
WMAC.
yeah,
I was like,
WAC.
that's why it's not on my
No, I know, I don't have to worry
calendar.
about it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, was there a reason we weren't doing Wednesday afternoon?
I don't know. I don't have anything that conflicts.
Because yeah.
I mean, there's Tuesday morning, it just makes for a long day because we've got a work session.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to prepare for this work session.
I think so too, that's why we left it blank, because we,
But I was thinking if,
but yeah, so like Wednesday, and then we've got Thursday, and then by the end of day Friday, we have to get the
notice
notice to the paper and have the budget.
Which requires a special meeting, unless you do it in the budget session on Wednesday.
Although if we end up adjourning the
There's no
budget
budget
session
session
on
on Wednesday.
Wednesday
Into Thursday.
into Thursday or Friday,
There's no budget session on Wednesday, the 22nd.
I have 9 to 12.
Yeah. 9 to 12.
Thursday, the 23rd, I'm not available in the morning, but 12 o'clock to 4, whatever would be fine. That would work.
Did not have Wednesday, but I'm putting it in there.
Yeah, so maybe we do something Thursday from 1 to 4, just in case.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, if we really had to, we could
Do
Wednesday
something.
afternoon.
You say
Yeah.
9 to 12
No,
on Wednesday?
Well, that's,
Yeah,
I
9 to-
now have a conflict, so we're talking
Right.
about moving it to 1 to 4.
I
Oh,
can do 1 to
doesn't
4
matter to
on
me.
Wednesday.
Doesn't matter to me.
so it's not 9 to
Wasn't
12, it's
scheduled
1 to
at all.
4.
So 1 to 4?
Yep.
Are we officially moving that now?
Yes.
Okay, so 1 PM.
So 1 to 4 on Wednesday.
And I think we should add something on Thursday.
I
So
think
1
so,
to
too.
4 is okay with you, Albert, on Thursday?
Yeah.
Everybody else?
On Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
You will make it work.
hours.
I may have to call in, but I can do it.
So we'll do 1 to 4 on Wednesday, the 22nd, and 1 to 4 on Thursday, the 23rd. Because it has to be finalized and noticed on Friday, the
Mhm.
24th.
Yes. So then my next question would be, how do you want to approach, like we've heard from everybody, we've gone through our open items. I've got WMAC. Couple other tweaks with retirement numbers I just have to finish up with.
So I think we need to look at salaries.
Mm-hmm.
I need to.
I was thinking
we need to-
tomorrow.
Yeah, go over all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we need to look at it maybe on the 22nd for cuts. You know, like kind of get everything,
Across the board, not across the board.
but I mean like in the
Every
entire
area,
budget, go through
yeah.
the whole budget and,
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree with that.
And fund balance.
and fund balance and
Mhm.
some of these other conversations. So,
Yeah, I feel like we haven't really done anything with cuts, so like, how do you want to approach cuts? Like, are we gonna go, back line by line, department by department, like what is the approach to actually get this
I think
this
the
budget
approach
buttoned up?
is we can certainly target certain departments. And go to those department heads, say, well, you're the expert in this particular budget. You tell me where I get another 2%.
I think if everybody spends the weekend kind of going through and figuring out where they think we can do cuts, we can come back together and compare our notes. And if multiple people feel like we can cut in the same area, then we work on that.
So the department heads are kind of the last line of defense there. That they should be the ones making those decisions. We can point to them and say, you, Mr. Department Head or Miss Department Head, we need 3%.
Right, but
Where do you want to take it from?
I don't know that you're gonna get that.
Also, I mean,
yeah.
that also takes time, and so we have to give them a mandate now. If we want something a week from yesterday.
Really that hard?
And I don't think that's a bad idea, really.
Yeah, it's not that hard. They know their budget, like, but they
They know.
should be sleeping with it under their pillow.
Right.
Not budging.
I mean, this is the thing, like the budgets they gave us are the budgets they feel they need to operate. So it's up to us to make the cuts because they're not gonna want to, because we already told them it's a tough budget year.
Mhm.
So I have made some cuts.
I think,
I made many cuts.
I just feel that they'll be less happy if we're cutting 2% out of their budget than if they're cutting 2% out of their budget.
I think no matter what, it falls on us. You know, so if,
Well, if they refuse, then it definitely falls on us.
Okay, so
But
you're
what if-
saying, let's just say 2%. Why is 2% the number, and how does that translate?
I'm just using it as an
No,
example.
but I mean, we need to give them a number, and how does that translate into what's actually cuttable? Like, we've got contractual salaries, or, we've got retirement costs, we've got health insurance. I mean, there's so much, 70% of the budget basically is non-discretionary. I mean, unless you
That's true.
start cutting positions and we roll back raises for union employees.
Once
So-
again, another reason why they should be a key figure in the
So-
decision-making process.
I think what we need to do is on Friday, tomorrow, have our executive session salary discussions, because that's the place to start before you go to the department heads, right? Because if we're gonna
Okay.
adjust things there, we should give them a chance to come back and argue with us. So I think we should start with that on Friday. And we have a couple of people who want to come and talk to us in executive session about topics related to salary. That's always a very long day. It's a very long day. So I think we should start with that. And then over the weekend, I think everybody should come up with their own places that they'd like to see cut. We can ask department heads what cuts they recommend in their department, but I think some of it is having, understanding the entire budget picture and how all the pieces are going to play against each other and figuring out exactly where we can cut and where we shouldn't cut. But I think that we all have to come at this with our own ideas
No problem.
and then compare them. And then I think we need to talk about fund balance. So my recommendation would be Wednesday, everyone comes with the cuts they want to see, figure out where we're landing percentage-wise, and then have a fund balance discussion on how we can use that to benefit the taxpayer.
Okay.
That's just my proposed
All
idea.
right, let me give you some numbers to frame this. So our total expenditures right now, they're slightly different because I'm working off of my budget, the proposed budget, is $17.5 million in expenditures. So if 30% of that is discretionary, and I might take a look at that
So
in the next
it's
couple of days. So that's $5.25 million. So if we ask people who are responsible for that 30% to come back with 2% in cuts, that is $105,000, and that is going to change our budget by 0.8%. Just tossing that out there.
Yeah.
So,
Better than a poke in the eye.
right, but then.
And maybe it should
but
be 3 or 4%.
I'm just tossing it out there. So what is your ask of department heads? Considering
You
that
just framed
that's,
it.
so where are we? We're at
5.7.
5.7, so that would take us down to 4.9%.
Yeah,
So,
or it could take us to 4.1. If you make it 4 instead of 2.
okay, yeah, I'm putting it out there. But then also, like, is that where you want the taxpayers to land at a 4.1% increase? I want to use fund balance so that we're down in the 2% range.
Yeah, well, we can still use fund balance, but it's down from
Okay,
4.1.
I'm just putting it out there because,
And that's less
This
fund
is a
balance
numbers
than
game.
we're using, which is a good thing.
105,000 or 200,000.
That was my proposal on how we move forward.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Okay,
Thank you,
so,
Becky. And that
so
was
we're,
actually, Amber, that was actually very helpful, Frank.
yeah, because when you started to say it, I'm thinking, that's not gonna make it,
It's not good.
it's not gonna do what we want it to accomplish.
Right.
Actually, that is a nice change. It's almost 1% just based,
Mhm.
just using 2%. And if you go to 3 or 4,
Mhm.
that's actual money and it's reversing the trend of ever increasing spending, which is what we've seen.
All right, so we're gonna send out a mandate to every department head, cut your budget by 2%?
Well, we gotta talk about it, but we're talking about approach.
Uh-huh,
And I think the approach, there's certain budgets and departments that maybe we don't wanna cut.
We
Like
need
the
a
town
approach.
clerk's office, why would we wanna cut that?
I
I would say IT, because if you say cut IT, then what
No, there's certain departments. we don't want-
cybersecurity are
Yeah,
we
there's
gonna let
nothing
go
that
of?
you can cut in IT, like.
Yeah,
already
no,
mentioned.
there's-
It's
No,
truly
there's
zero.
certain departments we may not wanna cut, which aren't that big in the first place.
Okay,
But then there are bigger departments that,
Tomorrow we have the salary.
yes.
Why don't we discuss this?
Okay, I'm just, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to frame it. I'm just trying to give the staff more time. Because if we tell them Friday afternoon, then they're only gonna have Monday and Tuesday. They also have whatever they do for their jobs to fit this in.
okay,
Yeah, I'm just
they know their
trying to.
budgets, at least they should, and if, they should be prepared for this already. That's what I'm saying. This
but
should not come as a
it's-
surprise.
I think it's our job to cut their budgets, because they've already given us what they think is their bare bones. Just, and we can ask, but I don't know you're gonna get much return on your request.
I just want to be able to give them as much time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think that's just
that's fair
fair.
enough.
It's a fair ask.
That's fair enough.
And
Okay,
that also means that on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, we need to see all of them again.
sure.
I think. Because if I were a department head and you're telling me to cut what I've already,
Okay, so
Held
you're
back. They're-
arguing
they're-
for, we should just make the cuts.
I
Okay,
Kind of our job.
I think,
Got it now.
I think the process is going to be too
Why
tough.
we come to the supervisor.
In running a business, you tend to go to the people who actually know the information.
We're still going to get them coming in if that's what they're hearing.
Okay,
Or we'll end up putting it to public hearing and then we're going to hear from them after the public hearing, or maybe even during the public hearing.
Right. So,
I'm just trying to deal with reality.
right,
Okay,
No, I
no,
mean,
that's fair
it's-
enough. And I'm happy to do it either way, but like I said, normally you go to the people that actually
Mhm.
know the information and say, hey.
well, we've already done that, right? They've already presented their budgets to Amber. She's cut parts of their budgets already. They've
That's
come in
true.
and lobbied for the stuff they want back. Like, we've already been through that process, so to then ask them to
And
go
then-
and do it
No, but
again.
now, but
there's
now we
no
say,
give back.
we were just kidding before, for real.
But it was kind of a for real ask the first time, and then when we cut
No,
things, that
it
also
wasn't.
felt for
No, it
real,
wasn't.
so, yeah, I think it was.
Well, so I don't wanna call out any specific, I don't wanna call out any specific situations, but there were certainly people came in here and asked for things, and I was like, what?
But now it's our turn to go and cut the things that you were like, what, on? Because that's our job.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like it is.
So I feel like,
It definitely-
otherwise, we can forever go back and forth pulling in department heads. No, I'm just saying,
We can't
theoretically,
forever.
no, we have a deadline. We have to be done
And
with
what's
this
the,
by
what's the
next week.
downside? Okay, so we missed the dead, what is it, November 15th or something?
Yeah.
20th? And so we just revert back to last year's budget.
No,
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 we go to my supervisor's
the
budget.
proposed budget.
supervisor cleaned it up.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, let's drag it out. Sure.
I was trying not to say anything, I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work.
It was a good budget, 2.2%. It's fine by me.
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow we will start off with what our approach will be.
Yeah.
Then we'll have, because we're going to go into executive session, so it's, once we go into executive session to talk about merit raises and things that people have requested, I don't think it's fair to try and
come back
bring the
after.
public and the press back in, because we don't know how long that's going to take.
Okay,
So unless you want,
so wait.
unless we call up Julie Lane and, I don't know.
I'm sorry,
John
what
and
are
Kathy, the only
you, what are
public
you
really.
suggesting?
That tomorrow we start with this discussion to finish it up, to then go into executive session for the salary piece. Because it's harder to come out of executive session
Mhm.
to then discuss. To go
So
back to
so we only
this.
have one night to sit down and figure out where we wanna see cuts.
No, you have
No.
all weekend.
Oh,
You
okay.
have until
Yeah, no,
Oh, this is
Wednesday.
Next week. not-
Wednesday
not
the
Friday.
22nd.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
mean, if we're still gonna just think about
So
how
you're
we
talking about
want.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I meant just if we want to think about how we want to approach it, do we want to send this back to department heads? Because it sounded like you, Gordon, wanted to think about it a little bit before deciding if we send it back to department
Well, I
heads.
think it's good to, is it better for us to give, I mean, it may very well come to be that way, but isn't it better for the department heads? They know their department better. So we say we need to really trim down 2%. Okay, isn't it better for them to do the trimming than for us to do the trimming? I mean, we can do the trimming, but it would be better for them to do the trimming because they know what's going to be the least problem for them.
But there are going to be some departments that
I know.
aren't going to be able to trim. Unless they come in and say, we're going to get rid of this aspect of cybersecurity, or, I don't know, I guess you're not going
Not
to.
received.
Well, it may not be, it may, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, we're not, well, but
So,
like I said, there's certain
yeah,
departments.
I mean, right now,
We
should I
don't
just-
wanna touch, we
Yeah.
don't wanna touch IT, we don't wanna touch the town clerk's office, because Amber's sitting right here.
when they all come in,
There's no more to cut.
That's true. I feel like, should I put out, like,
Down to staff members, nothing.
yeah, should, like, well, Judy's not here, she's already left for today. Send out to all department heads, find a certain
Yeah.
percentage in your, like, do you want to tell them right now, just so they can start to prepare?
But like, yes, in general, but specifically, there are a couple departments that I don't see any reason to say, go find someone, like IT, we don't need that.
Okay.
It's not that much money, and it's pretty much all spent.
On board.
Well, we didn't
So
take an increase.
but, okay, so town board, we don't have to find 2%. Just to sport.
I mean, this is the thing, like, we just went through theirs, right? So,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
I don't
figure
know
out
if we can
like,
do this right now,
yeah, okay,
but
so we can do it tomorrow.
we can do this tomorrow.
Okay.
We can look at it.
So how
Think
about-
about it tonight.
yeah, think about it, come up with a list of departments you think can cut their budget and
Yeah.
send it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because,
And that way we can set like, like somebody on staff ready to like let those departments know. So that, and then we go into executive session to talk about the merit asks.
so. Questions?
Yes.
For tomorrow, Friday, since we didn't do waterways today, should we start with waterways and then go into executive for salaries? Because.
Yeah, we'll definitely start with waterways.
Well, that was the thing I can't read.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Shelby did
And
email.
actually,
Yeah, she
I
did.
think maybe we'll clean this up. Like, I don't think we need the modified, the throughs and stuff like that. We can just put the 2020 or something,
Make it clean.
2024, yeah,
Yeah.
like the 25.
Okay.
So I can make it bigger so you can actually read it.
That sounds good.
Tuesday.
All right, so we'll kick it off with waterways, and then when we're done with that, we'll go into executive to
Well,
talk
no,
salaries.
then
Oh, then we'll do the
then we'll
framing.
talk about departments. And then we'll go into
Okay,
salaries.
and then salaries.
Yeah.
All right. And then I think we will have gone through all the things we need to go through before we start going through and cutting things.
Yes.
We'll have a better comprehensive
Yes.
picture of everything,
Yes.
because I have an idea about salaries, so it might help us. Keep it a hard 2.5. A hard, no rounding. Hard
Oh.
2.5.
God, no, not pennies.
Yeah, pennies.
Oh my God.
I know you hate it.
I'm gonna add that up and tell you exactly what, like, how much savings there is. It's not that big.
But psychologically, it keeps everybody fair and it's less drama. Just saying,
Point taken.
just saying.
Pennies
I
for the
know.
past few years.
Well, if it ends up with a penny, we'll round it up.
Well, round it down.
It depends. It depends. Is it a 9? Is it 1?
Yeah, we'll have that conversation
Yeah.
in executive session.
Exactly. Because then there'll be exceptions based on some things, but just
Yeah.
overall, it solves some things.
So we're meeting at 1 tomorrow.
Yes.
All right. Anything else on my calendar tomorrow? I'm sitting next to Shelby and we're gonna just be double
So it's 1 to
checking.
4?
Are you able to know what
Or 5?
between community and all that other stuff?
Wait, what's your question?
So it would be,
Yeah, I mean, I've been marking.
that's why we stopped.
Pennies.
That's why we stopped at 4, because it's the end of the workday.
Updated spreadsheet.
We did some things here now today and
Mhm.
the last couple of days. Would it be important, can we get that updated so that we know what we did?
Yes, yeah, I'm gonna, tomorrow Shelby and I will sit down and go through it just to make sure, like, all of the changes, like,
Are in there.
what she has and what I have, and then we'll get it. Is it online okay, or do you want a printed copy?
Hold on, it's not for me.
Mhm.
It's easier to blow up.
Yeah.
Print
Just on screen.
Email's fine.
Okay, yeah, is that all right for you, Albert?
Yes.
Okay,
It's fine by me.
okay,
Right.
yeah, so we'll just upload, like, where we stand today version.
You send me the Excel.
Do we have a meeting scheduled for next year yet? I'm just trying to coordinate my schedule with,
Or in like
Oh,
January?
you mean January?
or should I
Oh,
just take every 3 weeks? And I'm only really talking about,
Well, the
Monthly
organizational meeting is usually in the very beginning of the month to set up for the
it's
new
like
year,
the
so
6th or something.
In the first week of January.
it's.
It's Wednesday, somebody told me it was
okay,
Wednesday.
so our first, wait.
The 6th is a Tuesday, and I had that penciled in as the organizational
No.
meeting.
No,
the
I think it's the
The Monday at 6 PM would be our organizational meeting, because it's a town board meeting. And that's what we did last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so our first meeting would be January 5th.
I'm probably not gonna be here.
Yeah, and that's just all organizational stuff. And then,
I mean, but we work on the calendar before then.
we work
so-
on the calendar in like December.
So 6 PM on the 5th?
Yes,
No, is there a work session on the 6th?
yes. Wait, just look, is it right?
Yeah,
That would be our
'cause
first
week
work
before
session.
is the Wednesday, Thursday, is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Mhm. Yes, our first work session would be on the 6th. And then, um,
6.
I mean, last year I sat down and I looked at all of the calendars, things like that, but I would think whoever is supervisor-elect in December is gonna be the one
No,
setting
that
the
would-
calendar.
That's a revenue.
I'm not gonna work on
But it's every 3 weeks, right?
And you need the other committees,
it. Once in a while it gets bumped.
the other committees need to submit their,
I'm just trying to avoid conflicts, but
Yeah.
not sure I can do that. before.
I mean, we should have the
Well,
schedule
last year,
in December before you go. Ish.
yeah.
is that too late?
People ask me to commit to stuff now, and this is a Monday thing that cycles, and I'll figure it out.
The way it was done last year is I proposed the calendar for the entire year, handed it out to everybody. And then if there were like huge conflicts, or if we thought like we were not gonna have enough board members for a particular meeting, we made adjustments.
Right.
And then also took all of the committee calendars. I think I had rearranged a couple of CACs so that we would be able to get their reports before public hearings. So like, I think in November, no, it's October, they have 2 meetings because of that. And then maybe nothing in November. So it's,
Like we meet.
it is a game of Jenga.
When's our meeting in December? Is the 8th?
Town board,
Getting it mixed up.
The first.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
first, and I don't.
22nd.
And the 20th.
We haven't really scheduled,
And the November one is,
but yeah.
is what?
November 10th.
All right, we're clear for this year. Yay.
Yeah, the 10th, December 1st and December 22nd.
Yeah. Good. And it is,
And I know town clerk always wants something at the end of December to like clean up some things, but
Like the 29th. If we needed to.
we'll figure it out.
Need the appointments.
Yeah.
Cut out the bids for, you don't know how soon.
You just can't sweat it.
You need also civil services, not.
Yeah.
Liaison,
Salary, it's just the
Oh.
5 weeks.
12 pages worth of stuff.
Doing
Then,
these out.
February.
Because there's always, you've got the 20th.
I think we're done for the public.
Yeah.
So I think we can adjourn this budget work session until 1 PM tomorrow. And
Yay.
call it a wrap for today. We're just trying to, we're done. Yes.
Yay, thank